Well, springtime is coming, and that means it's turkey hunting season. Today I'm going to talk to you about the top 5 reasons to hunt turkeys with a single shot. Coming up on Modern Mountain Man. All right, so I'm going to talk about 5 benefits of using a single shot shotgun while hunting turkey. Now, some of those benefits will cross-pollinate with some of the other platforms, such as pumps, semi-automatics, side-by-side, and over-unders. But I want you to think of these 5 things almost in the Venn diagram type format, whereas one or more of these 5 things that are benefits to using a single action may overlap with some of those other platforms. It does not overlap with all of any of those platforms. This platform is versatile, it is functional, and it has a place in the gun cabinet of every turkey hunter. Number 5, weight. Now, weight is a two-edged sword. When it comes to a turkey gun, this is shooting 12 gauge, 3.5-inch magnums. So it's a two-edged sword in the sense that, man, sometimes it's nice to have a little extra weight to subdue the round, but I'm telling you, when you're hunting, particularly like where I hunt up at the mountains, or if you do a lot of walking, if you do a lot of running gun where you go from one hunting spot to the next and move on from that gobbler to the next, particularly if you're hunting public land, man, it is beneficial to have a lightweight gun. You know, when it comes to that two-edged sword of weight, I tell you what, man, I would rather pay the price once on the little extra recoil than pay the price all day long as I lug around a heavy shotgun. Number 4, overall length versus barrel length. Now, when it comes to a single shot shotgun or any other break action, whether it's a double barrel or an over/under, one of the benefits that is there with break action shotguns is you don't have all the mechanical action of a pump or a semi-automatic. When I'm maneuvering in my turkey blind or behind a tree or something, I want as little overall length as possible. However, it benefits me to have a little extra barrel length when it comes to holding those tight patterns that I want to put on a turkey neck. Now, the specs on this Henry turkey gun right here sound like this: 39.5 overall length for a 24-inch barrel. Compare that to a Remington 870 setup for turkey hunting. You're talking about a gun that is 1 inch longer with 4 inches less of barrel. You've got a 40.5 overall length on the 870 with a 20-inch barrel. When it comes to the Mossberg 500, you're looking at about almost exactly the same as the 870. It's a 1/4 inch shorter than the 870. Still, you're only getting a 20-inch barrel instead of a 24-inch barrel, and you're still longer than this single shot. Now, if you were to step it up to a semi-automatic, say for instance like a Versamax, you're looking at 44 overall inches with a 22-inch barrel. That is way longer than my 39.5 overall length with a 24-inch barrel. So I'm getting a lot more barrel for a lot less overall length, way more maneuverable when you're turkey hunting. Number 3, safety. Now, I know best practice is this: after you shoot your gobbler, you should unload your gun, right? You should, if you got a break action, pop it open, pull your spent shell and your unspent shell out. If you got a pump it all loose or eject all out of your semi-automatic before you jump out of your blind and run up there to go see your new prized longbeard that's flopping on the ground. That's what we should do. That's what safety protocol says we should do. However, we all know sometimes the adrenaline kicks in, we hop out of the stand and we run out there. And one of the nice things about a single shot is once I fire it, the shell is spent. It's not going to shoot a second time. With a pump action, you've got the same thing going on. As long as you don't automatically pump it, you fire it, it's got a spent shell in the chamber, you're pretty safe to go there. Click it over to safety or whatever else. But when it comes to a semi-automatic, it's going to automatically reload a new one. When it's a over/under or a double barrel, that sear is going to move over so you're ready to fire the second barrel. But with my single action, it is automatically safe. after that first one is shot. Like I said, safety protocol, go ahead, crack it open, pull the shell out. Make sure you're clear, do the right thing. But we all know sometimes when the adrenaline kicks in, we don't do the right thing. Another safety feature of a break action is action open. You know, when I'm crossing a fence, when I'm crossing a creek, when I'm handing the gun to somebody else, or when I'm just walking through the woods. When you've got the break action open, it's just automatically safe. Another aspect of safety when it comes to single action is the rebounding hammer. All right, so I have to pull the hammer back like this in order to fire it in the first place. So if my hammer is down, look, I believe that with a semi-automatic and with a pump, I should be aware of where my manual safety is. As a safety conscious hunter, I should know that. But one of the nice things about a rebounding hammer, it's already set down in this place. It is a rebounding hammer. What that means is there's no way this is going to drop fire. This is not going to hit the firing pin unless the trigger is being pressed while the hammer is falling from the back position. Now, this rebounding hammer, not only is this a safety feature for me, the hunter who's carrying my own gun, but say for instance, I'm training a young hunter. It's really easy for me to look over at this hammer and tell whether or not he's got it in a safe position. If this hammer is back, I can say to him, hey son, guess what? I can tell you're in a fire ready position. And there's no turkeys around, there's no reason for you to be in a fire ready position. And so we can get it back into safety. Reason number 2, simple and rugged. With a single action, there are less moving parts for me to worry about. I mean, have you ever had a gun jam on you before? I know you have. If you've run a semi-automatic, you've definitely had a jam on you before. Or you got something that froze or broke. I had a jam on the very first turkey I ever killed on a semi-automatic shotgun. I've had friends who had super disappointing situations where their firing pin corroded into place. And whether it was a semi-automatic or a pump, they pulled the trigger and it sounded like the hammer fell, it sounded like the firing pin fired, but it never ignited the primer. You don't have to worry about that with an actual hammer that will drop with some weight and some authority. This is simple, this is rugged. A lot like you and me when we're out there turkey hunting. We are simple and rugged and we are after this bird. There's less moving parts, there's less things to go wrong. Number 1, this is probably the least tangible benefit of hunting with a single shot shotgun, but it's possibly the most important, and it's this: psychology. If I know that I've only got one shot, look, all it takes on a turkey is one shot. But if in my mind I'm like, hey, if I miss the first shot, I've got a second shot, I've got a third shot, we can keep shooting until this bird stops. But if I realize I've got one shot for one bird, one shot, one kill, I'm going to use that shot way more judiciously. Look, my brother and I grew up groundhog hunting the same farm, and I grew up shooting my great-grandfather's single shot bolt action 22, that it wasn't just a single shot bolt action, but you had to pull the little pin back after you shut the bolt. It was a process to load and unload. My little brother grew up shooting a Ruger 1022, and he knew if he missed a shot, he had 9 more in fast succession coming after that. Can I tell you, he and I learned some differences in marksmanship, and if I walk into the woods with the psychology, with the thought process of one shot, one kill, I'm gonna shoot more judiciously, I'm gonna take more time on my shot, I'm gonna make sure it's a sure shot, and plus it just adds an extra challenge to the hunt. Those are my top 5 reasons why I believe it would benefit you to shoot a single shot shotgun. Like I said, some of those reasons cross-pollinate to the other 4 platforms that I mentioned, but none of those 4 other platforms cross-pollinate to all 5 of those reasons. If I've given you some solid reasons today to consider shooting a single shot shotgun this turkey season, leave me a comment below. If you've got some agreements, some disagreements, some things that I missed, drop those below. But one more thing I want to let you know before I let you go. I'm going to do a review on this specific gun. This is Henry's brand new single shot 12 gauge turkey shotgun. And this is the shotgun I have been waiting for somebody to make. I've been waiting for somebody to make a modern, clean, 3.5 inch 12 gauge that has been set up just for turkey hunting. And this one has it all. I'm super excited about this one. As soon as I saw that Henry had released this gun, I could not wait to get one for my own. So stay tuned. I'm going to be reviewing this one. I've got a few other videos planned for it, and hopefully I can get a couple turkeys on film this year. I'm going to recruit some of my buddies to come hunt with me and record me as I hunt. But as always, God bless you. Get yourself a single shot and go take your mountain.